One of the biggest weaknesses on San Francisco's roster ever since Kyle Shanahan has arrived has been the cornerback play. So in a similar way to how San Francisco added Deion Sanders prior to the start of their '94 Super Bowl run, they've added pretty impressive talent at the position, including the likes of Isaac Yiadom, but maybe the guy who's impressed the most at camp so far has been their second round selection, Renardo Green out of Florida State. Perhaps the most insane part for me about this is Green is doing this all while learning a new position. He's sliding in from the outside cornerback spot he's been playing the last 2 years at Florida, and so far he's broken up passes intended to Deebo Samuel, Jauan Jennings, Pearsall, basically anyone San Francisco has thrown at him. In addition to that, he's done a great job at camp, only drawing one penalty, and when he did draw that penalty, San Francisco's secondary coaches helped him immediately improve on his game. So while many are questioning his ability to succeed at the next level due to his aggressive play style, I think he's just going to continue to improve because he's like a sponge. So in this video, I want to break down Green's career, his athletic profile, as well as what he shows on the field to determine how it will fit Sorensen's new defense. We're first introduced to Renardo Green at Wekiva High School in Apopka, Florida. As a senior, he had 25 tackles and 4 interceptions. According to 24/7 Sports, he was ranked as a 3-star recruit, and he had offers from Duke, Florida, Cincinnati, Boston College, and Florida State. Ultimately, he decided to enroll at Florida State. From 2019 to 2023 with the Seminoles, he played in 53 games, had 148 tackles, and 1 interception. What's really interesting across his career, he played in a variety of positions in the secondary. From 2020 to 2021, for instance, he saw 7 starts at safety, but there was also a joker package in which he was brought in and slid down to the nickel role he's currently practicing in for San Francisco. This is what he had to say about that position. "We had a joker package where we'd go 3 high safeties and then one of those safeties would drop and become a nickel. And that was me. We ran it in 2020, so I got some experience in playing in the slot actually." And while Green's versatility has been on full display for San Francisco, I think the most intriguing part about his game is how he improved every single year for the Florida State Seminoles. During his senior season, for instance, he shut down Brian Thomas Jr., who runs his 40-yard dash in 4.33 seconds and was a first-round selection. And when he went against the 6th overall pick, Malik Nabers, who has drawn comparisons to Justin Jefferson, he once again shut him down. On 5 targets to Nabers when Green was covering him, he only had 20 yards and Green was able to snag an interception. And while his game at LSU really stood out, the fact is, whether you looked at his first game or last game of the year, he was outplaying every single wide receiver. When quarterbacks were targeting him, they only had a quarterback rating of 75 on the entire year. So even though Green was effective against the first round talent, he was only selected in the later half of the second round by San Francisco, and a big reason for this, I believe, was his 40-yard dash of 4.49 seconds. In addition to that, Green does have a pretty aggressive play style, and many scouts questioned his ability to actually clean that up to make sure he wasn't over penalized at the next level. But so far in these practices, it doesn't look like he's a major liability. On the play he did have a penalty, he just got there a little bit too soon. And while Green's combine numbers didn't light it up at the combine, I think he does have enough speed to shut down 4-3 wide receivers. He's done it across his college time, and it really shouldn't change moving into the NFL. And at that nickelback spot, he really excels because he doesn't need to overly rely on his speed, but he relies more so on his acceleration, which is borderline elite. He just comes in and out of these breaks so quickly he's able to stay in the hip pocket of the wide receiver. And you can already tell, even against NFL competition, his aggressive press man style does enough to disrupt the timing on plays, and it just makes it a nightmare for a quarterback to complete a pass on him. As a nickelback, it's also important to be extremely strong against the run, and when playing the run, Green does an excellent job of identifying and coming to his support position. Then once he does make the tackle, he's actually looking to punish the back, which is surprising to see out of a corner, especially because he's not the biggest. On runs, Green also does a nice job of not allowing blockers to get inside his chest by utilizing his quickness. And while we've already seen Green against NFL competition, we haven't seen him with pads on, and honestly, I expect him just to improve. His aggressive playstyle really lends itself nicely to having pads on, especially in the running game where he's aggressive to take on backs. Already, he's arguably San Francisco's third best corner, right there with Isaac Yiadom. And with these additions, San Francisco's corners might actually become a strength rather than a weakness. And maybe just like the 94 season, they have an improved secondary that puts San Francisco over the top. But ultimately, these are just my thoughts on Renaldo Green after minicamp and OTAs, and I want to hear your thoughts down below. And it would also mean a ton to me if you liked and subscribed, and as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.